All right. Listen, here's the deal. It's 4 a.m. I have to leave on a business trip for a couple hours, and it's not even to a whiskey distillery this time, so I'm kind of pissed about it. But I don't have a podcast scripted out for this week. Well, I had one. I recorded that one. But I'm dropping 2 episodes a week because your boy's a professional podcaster. This one is just going to be a rant. But it is about a topic I've thought a lot about and spent a lot of time working on. And it is massively important for our business. Like, this is more important than any Facebook ad tactics. It's more important than any of our CRO stuff. This is more important than any of our content. This right here, I first kind of learned about it from a couple of guys that are smarter and more experienced than me, maybe 3 years ago. And like, that was the start of, us really putting up crazy good growth numbers and growth honestly just getting easier and easier and easier, which I kind of felt like it has. Anyways, Tactical and Practical brought to you by Intelligems. As you know, they are my go-to one-stop profit optimization shop. Anything you need to test on your website, from prices to offers to content, to themes to formats of LPs to whatever else you can think of, Intelligems is all you need. You don't need to pay a CRO agency a crazy retainer. You, a Shopify account, and an Intelligems account can massively improve your conversion rate, your revenue per session, and ultimately your profit per session, which is why we're all in business. So go to intelligems.io, let them know the Tactical and Practical podcast sent you, and you can start adding dollars to your bottom line today. All right, this rant, I don't know if I was going to call it "Not All Products Are Created Equal," or "Not All Products Deserve Ad Spend," or "You Shouldn't Advertise Most of Your Products." There's going to be some grabby headline like that. But the thesis of it is that not all products are created equal. And I'm not saying that, my watches are better than yours. They are, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about within your own store. Not every product you sell is a winner. Not every product you sell should be used as that hero acquisition tool. Not every product you sell should deserve for you to invest the time, effort, and money it takes to create new ad creative and to spend money to promote that. The thesis is that different products inspire people to act differently. Let me give you a couple examples. If I buy and then consume a lot of cheap whiskey, the chances of me Ubering Eats Taco Bell at 1 a.m. are drastically increased. You would agree, right? Great. Different products inspire people to take different actions. So when you think about that in the context of your e-com store, you're going to have products that when people buy those products first, 20% of those customers might buy from you again in the future. You're going to have another product that when someone buys that product first, only 12% of those people buy from you again. There also might be a product on your store that when someone buys that first, 40% of those people come back to you and buy again. Understanding this and understanding the ratio of your, 12-month contribution dollars by product, whatever, LTV, lifetime, 12-month contribution dollars, segmented by product, minus your COGS and your CAC when you advertise that product. That is the math that matters when it comes to growing an e-com brand. This is why I always push back when people come to me and they say they need a lower CAC, or when people come to me and they say they need a higher ROAS, because I can get you those things tomorrow. There are all sorts of hacks you can do to make ROAS better and CAC go down. But when I think about how to grow Original Grain into a long-lasting, meaningful brand that stands the test of time, I'm not thinking about acquiring the cheapest customers. All I'm focusing on is how can I acquire the most high value customers possible. That's the name of this game. Acquire as many high value customers as you can afford. Nowhere in there am I talking about CAC or ROAS or anything else. I just want to be able to acquire as many high value customers as we can possibly afford. So when I first heard this, shout out to McCoy Merkley, CEO of Portland, CMO of Portland Leather Goods. Sorry, Curtis, I just gave McCoy your job for a second there. And Charlie T, who I know is fighting everyone on Twitter these days. But those were the first two guys to put me onto this. And both of them have used this principle to grow 9-figure brands. So even if you don't like them, take this piece of knowledge for the gem that it is. Because when I first heard this, I started looking at the lifetime value stats around each of our products. And I started seeing some products that we would have told you were our best sellers, were our top dogs, were our hero products, our best acquisition tools. We're not producing the most profit over a 12-month customer journey. And like it wasn't even close. It turns out our best products at the time were the products that we spent the most on advertising, were the products that we invested the most time into content creation, were the products that we featured most prominently on our website. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy that those products were our top sellers. But then we started to look at performance of some other products. And we started to see that conversion rates on some other products' product pages was much higher than on our, quote, best sellers. Then we started to look at the repeat purchase rates of those other products. And those were much, much better than what we thought were our best sellers. Now, it wasn't a straight apples to apples comparison because our top dogs had received so much more attention, so much more advertising, so much more visitors to the product page that I couldn't definitely say like, oh, well, this is definitely better, because obviously when one product has 15 times the amount of site sessions as another, obviously conversion rate's going to be down a little bit. But it inspired me to start to push on some of those other products. You know, what if we send equal amount of traffic to both product pages? Which one's going to perform better? And then how does that customer cohort perform over the next 12 months? And now we are 3 years after that experiment started. 6 of our top 10 best-selling watches from last year did not exist 3 years ago. And we are spending all of our advertising dollars on 6 products, even though our catalog's 200 watches deep, because those are what are producing the highest repeat purchase rates and the highest profit over a 12-month customer journey after you factor out COGS and our cost to acquire a customer. There's one thing I can get across to you in this episode, is to just for a minute, take a half hour and talk to your team about this. Tell them to stop worrying about today's cost to acquire a customer, today's MER, today's return on ad spend. Start to think about February 17th, 2026. What would be most helpful to your business 12 months from now that you can start working on today? For me, the answer is very clear. I need to acquire as many customers as I can possibly afford who buy 1 out of 6 watches first. That is what's going to help us hit our goals next year. I'm not even talking about this year's goals. I'm not talking about our CAC today or our ROAS today. I'm talking about how do I make sure we are still thriving 12 months from now, 18 months from now, 24 months from now, 6 years from now. I've talked about this privately with a lot of marketers, and when I ask them, what can you do today that would be most helpful to your business in a year? They don't have an answer. But that answer is hidden in your data. You just need to go and find it, and you just need to apply it. Because if you ask me or anyone else on my team, what would be most helpful to our business in a year, I can show you actually. It would be selling as many of these watches today as possible. That's it. If I know I sell enough of these watches today and tomorrow and the day after that, then I can count on a huge chunk of repeat customer revenue and a big chunk of profit coming to our store in 12 months. And I want you to be able to do that too. So, couple assignments here. One, go sort all your products by PDP conversion rate. Then go look at the 12-month LTV on all those products. Subtract out COGS and your cost to acquire those customers. Start to get a sense of currently, today, what products are producing the best 12-month profit across their customer journey. And then start to push on those ones that are drastically outperforming the rest. Start to make more content about them. Start to spend more money advertising them. Start sending more people to those product pages and see if those numbers hold. I promise if you start thinking about your business like this, you're going to call me in 12 months and be like, holy shit, dude. Can't believe your podcast is free. It's like, no, I know. But I'm a giver, you know? All right. This rant's over. I think I got the point across. And if I didn't, then you'll never hear this episode anyway. So thanks for listening to Tactical and Practical. Follow me if you want.